Alright guys, we're back again. Gonna do my review today. Last night's game was interesting to say the least. Chiefs giving that one away. And Jamal Charles losing it for the Chiefs and possibly Mike Tompkins. But we'll see. A few moves went through yesterday morning. I added Carlos Williams. Kyle added Dion Lewis, who wasn't in football for 2 years, but, you know, Kyle's making that move. Tompkins got Moncrief. I was also in on that. I think Homan was too. Andrew picked up Ladarius Green, and Homan got Lance Dunbar. Going into the games, let me find it. Up first, you got 1-0 me and 1-0 Homan, or Holman. Apparently you spell it like that now. I'm just looking at how lineups are set right now. They could change, but I started Kelsey last night. He got 9. Didn't have the big week like he did last week, but 9's alright. But he's got Tyler Eifert on the other side, so hopefully he doesn't have as big a week as he did last week either. Rodgers and Luck have tough matchups, so the quarterbacks are going to be close. If Mariota can have another good game and Tannehill can get his head out of his ass. LaShawn McCoy is questionable right now, so that might get switched. I like Carlos Hyde against Pittsburgh. Mike's got an advantage there. Melvin Gordon's gross. Abdullah's good. So you got me on running backs. Haven't seen much from Amari Cooper yet. Jordan Matthews had a decent game. AJ Green, I believe, had a decent game last week. Fitzgerald's old. Vincent Jackson's old. Antonio Brown's a beast. We'll see what we get out of Terrence Williams. John Brown's nice. It's projected to be close, and I think it is going to be close. I have no one Monday night. And Holman has 2 in the Jets defense and Andrew Luck, which kind of doesn't make sense. You want Andrew Luck to score, but then you want the Jets defense to intercept him and do bad things. So make up your mind, Mike. That's a tough one. This is a tough one to choose. Depending on how Luck's game goes on Monday could really decide it. So we'll leave it to that. Up next, we got 0-1 Mike Tompkins and 0-1 Brian Scott. Someone's getting their first win of the year. Tompkins has not won ever in the first 2 weeks of fantasy football, so we'll see what comes this week for him. We got a 46-39 game right now, as both players had 2 players play last night. Jamal Charles got 19. He should have at least 4 more points with those fumbles. Broncos D got a nice 20. That's pretty solid right there. Peyton Manning showed his face for once and got more than 5, and he got 26. And Demaryius Thomas got a solid 20. Champs projected to win, not by much, but he is projected to win. Matt Ryan should have a good game against the Giants. Sam Bradford, we'll see how he does against Dallas. Forset's questionable in Oakland, so that could change. Ingram should have a decent game against Tampa Bay. Forte against Arizona is a tough draw. Eddie Lacy against Seattle is a tough draw. Frank Gore against the New York Jets is a tough draw. I'm liking Tompkins running backs for right now. Eric Decker, Devontae Adams, Mike Wallace, and Landry. Landry is the only one with a really decent matchup. Calvin, Julio, and Andre Johnson. I don't like Andre Johnson this year. Julio is having a hamstring issue. I like Champs receivers there, though. Greg Olsen and Gronk. That's a pretty good tight ends matchup. I think Buffalo is really going to go after Gronk, but we'll see how he performs. And it's going to be another close one. I want to give the edge to Tompkins right now. It depends on how Sam Bradford plays, but I'm giving Tompkins his first win in the first 2 weeks. Let's see if he can pull it off. Up next, we got 1-0 Kyle Lucina and 1-0 Jay Relay. Jay was the only person to have a player in last night's game, and Emmanuel Sanders. That was the player to have with his 28. Jay's projected to win by a decent amount. Let's see what kind of matches we got here. Russell Wilson in Green Bay. Could be a decent. Green Bay struggles with running quarterbacks. Tom Brady in Buffalo. We'll see how that goes. Buffalo's D is good. Lamar Miller's got a favorable matchup. Jeremy Hill's going to have a good day. DeMarco going against his old team. Should be getting a lot of carries. Randall Cobb, Julian Edelman, Sammy Watkins. Hopefully he gets more than 0. ASJ in New Orleans. Jay's got I like Jay's lineup right now. That's looking pretty good. Kyle over here has got Romo in Philly, who's going to be probably passing the ball a lot. Carson in Chicago should be a good game. Doug Martin, Rashad Jennings, Bishop Sankey. Not the best running backs. Sankey should have another good week. Doug Martin should have a good week. We'll see how that turns out. Alshon's questionable again. Mike Evans is still questionable, so you got 2 receivers who may not even play right now. Hopkins and Cooks. I don't like Jimmy Graham anymore. I'm giving this win to Jay. I feel confident on that one. Jay's going 2-0. And to the last game of the week. 0-1 Andrew Bartlett. 0-1 Chris Worley. Chris was the only one to have a player in last night's game in Jerry Macklin, who got 9. You would want more out of your receiver, but what do you expect from Kansas City and Yucky Alex Smith? Cam Newton, Matt Stafford. Houston's defense can sneak up on you. So I don't know if Cam's the best play, but we'll see. Devonta Freeman. Are you really starting Devonta Freeman? I now have to look at your bench. Because that's disgusting. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to do it. Ew. Ew. Don't start Devonta Freeman. Just stop. Chris Ivory's questionable. I did not know he was injured. Let's see what's going on there. Groin. He's probably going to play, but Latavius Murray, who I don't like, going against Baltimore. I don't like Latavius Murray. What did he do last week? 14. That's not terrible. I still don't like him. Brandon Marshall, Keenan Allen, Brandon Coleman. You should get a decent amount out of those players. Cameron. On the other side, you got Phil Rivers in Cincinnati. Should be a good game. Drew Brees against Tampa Bay should have a great game. Marshawn Lynch should get a lot of carries. AP in Detroit is iffy. Bernard in San Diego. It's going to get a lot of catches as normal. Garcon in St. Louis might be a little off this week. Bolden in Pittsburgh should have a decent game. Pittsburgh defense looks bad this year. Odell Beckham should have a better week since he's going into the yucky Atlanta defense. Roddy White going against his own Giants. Winton in Philly should see a lot of touches. Chris's team is projected to score the lowest out of everyone this week. I'm not going to say I agree with that. Devonta Freeman is definitely a reason why, but I'm giving the win to Andrew. So we'll see how I do, and see you guys on the flip side.